Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. If you're new here, my name is Paul, and today we're going to be doing a comparison between the iPhone 11 Pro Max, which is almost a year old, and the Note 20 Ultra that was released a couple of weeks ago, which is also Samsung's latest flagship. Anyways, before I get to the comparison, I would appreciate if you guys can subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I drop a new video. Anyways, let's get to the comparison. Okay, let's start the comparison with a quick boot up speed test. I'm going to turn off the Note 20 Ultra. The iPhone 11 Pro Max is turned off already because the Note 20 Ultra is my daily driver. Now that both phones are turned off, now let us turn on both phones to see which one of them boot up first. As you can see, the Note 20 Ultra responded first, followed by the iPhone 11 Pro Max a couple of seconds later. Obviously, I expect the Note 20 Ultra to boot up first since it started first, but who knows? Anyways, the boot up speed test actually goes to the Note 20 Ultra. The Note 20 Ultra has the fastest boot up speed. The iPhone 11 Pro Max has finally boot up. Anyways, now that both phones are turned on, let's talk about the design of both phones. The iPhone 11 Pro Max has a frosted glass back, which is Gorilla 6. It was the strongest at the time it was made. I mean, it's still strong, but we now have Gorilla 7. A flat display with a notch and minimal bezels at the side and the bottom of the phone, a triple lens camera system, rounded edges, and at the right side of the phone you're going to find your power button and your SIM tray. Below the phone you're going to find your lightning port and your speakers. On the left side of the phone you're going to find your volume rocker and your mute switch. There's nothing much at the top of the phone, just the antenna bands, and at the side of the phone you're also going to find the antenna bands. And that's about it for the design of the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now let's move on to the Note 20 Ultra. The Note 20 Ultra has a frosted glass back, but this time Gorilla 7. The Note 20 Ultra is the first smartphone with Gorilla 7. A slightly curved display with a punch-hole front-facing camera. It also has a triple lens camera system like the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but the lenses on the Note 20 Ultra are arranged vertically, unlike the iPhone 11 Pro Max, which the lenses are arranged like a gas cooker. One thing I'm going to say about the camera of the Note 20 Ultra is that it has a very huge bump. I mean, it might not be a big deal because you can always get a case to cover the bump, but it's there. To the right of the phone, you're going to find your power button and your volume rocker, both on the same side, while the left side of the phone is actually empty, unlike the iPhone 11 Pro Max, which the power button is on the right side and the volume rocker is on the left side. Anyways, below the phone, you're going to find your USB-C charging adapter, the housing for the S Pen, and the speaker. And at the top of the phone, you're going to find your SIM tray and the antenna bands on the top and the right side of the phone, just like the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And that's about it for the design of the Note 20 Ultra. So when it comes to design, I'm going to give it to the Note 20 Ultra because the Note 20 Ultra has the best design in the market right now. But that comes down to personal opinion. But in my own opinion, the Note 20 Ultra has the best design in the market right now. Now let's talk about the processor, RAM, and base storage. The iPhone 11 Pro Max is powered by Apple's A13 Bionic chip. This is Apple's most powerful chip yet, and in my opinion, the most powerful chip on any smartphone. The iPhone 11 Pro Max comes with a 4GB of RAM and a base storage of 64GB. I mean, for a flagship phone, that is too small because 64GB fills up very fast. While the Note 20 Ultra is powered by, well, depending on the location you're living in, if you live in the United States, North Korea, and China, you're gonna get the Snapdragon variant of the Note 20 Ultra. But if you live in the new European countries, you're gonna get the Exynos version of the Note 20 Ultra. You don't get to choose, it all comes down to your region. Anyways, the one I have here with me is powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus, which is the most powerful chip on an Android, not on any smartphone, on an Android. It comes with 8GB of RAM and it has a base storage of 128GB. Or you could get the 512GB variant of the Note 20 Ultra with 12GB of RAM. It might seem that the Note 20 Ultra has a higher RAM than the iPhone 11 Pro Max, but iPhones are known to use the minimum amount of RAM. It all comes down to optimization when it comes to iPhones. So we can't decide that the Note 20 Ultra has a better performance than the iPhone 11 Pro Max just because it has 8GB of RAM and the iPhone 11 Pro Max has 4GB of RAM. So when it comes to colors, the iPhone 11 Pro Max comes in 4 colors: space gray, silver, midnight green, and gold. While the Note 20 Ultra comes in 3 colors: mystic white, mystic black, and mystic bronze. So now let's talk about the display on both phones. The Note 20 Ultra has a 6.9-inch AMOLED display, which also has 120Hz adaptive refresh rate, and the screen resolution comes in at 3088 by 1440p. While the iPhone 11 Pro Max has a 6.5-inch display, also an AMOLED display, and the screen resolution comes in at 2688 by 1242. Obviously, the Note 20 Ultra has a bigger display. I think the difference between both displays is 0.4 inches. But one thing I'm going to say about the display on the Note 20 Ultra, the Note 20 Ultra has the best display on any smartphone ever, both on iOS and Android. Samsung in fact makes one of the best display on anything that has a display. TV, phones, just mentioning anything that has a display. The Note 20 Ultra doesn't disappoint. This display on the Note 20 Ultra is by far better than the one on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. So now let's talk about the operating system on both phones. Obviously, the Note 20 Ultra is an Android device, so it's powered by Android 10 with Samsung One UI on top of it, while the iPhone 11 Pro Max is powered by iOS 13 or iOS 14 beta if you choose to install it on your phone. Mine is powered by iOS 14 beta. I'm not really going to talk about the difference between Android and iOS because that's going to take a lot of time. But one thing I know about iOS is that it's simple and the optimization on iOS is one of the best. And one thing I'm going to say about Android is that you get a lot of freedom to do whatever you want, which is actually a good thing because ever since I moved to my Note 20 Ultra, I've never experienced that much freedom on my phone. I mean, I used to use Android, but I kind of got used to the simplicity that iOS has to offer. Even though it's simple, but on iOS, you are kind of restricted to the things you can do with your phone. You only get to do things that Apple thinks you need. So that's about it for the operating system on both phones. Both operating systems are amazing and it all comes down to personal preference. So now let's talk about the camera. This is not going to be a full camera comparison. I'm going to be uploading a full camera comparison between the Note 20 Ultra and my iPhone 11 Pro Max. So if that sounds like something interesting, you might want to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. But I'm just going to be doing a side-by-side comparison of some photos and maybe some videos. Anyways, let's talk about the camera specs on both phones. Let's start with the iPhone 11 Pro Max. The iPhone 11 Pro Max is a triple lens camera system with the main camera being a 12 megapixel lens, a 12 megapixel ultra wide, and a 12 megapixel telephoto, which has 2 times optical zoom in, 2 times optical zoom out, and up to 10 times digital zoom. The front-facing camera on the iPhone 11 Pro Max is also a 12 megapixel f2.2 aperture. So the phone basically has 12 megapixel lenses. Anyways, let's move to the camera spec of the Note 20 Ultra. The Note 20 Ultra also has a triple lens camera system, a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 108 wide angle camera, a 12 megapixel telephoto camera, and a laser autofocus sensor. I mean, this is not a lens, but it helps when it comes to portrait features, and it's also used when it comes to AR features. So the Note 20 Ultra has 5 times optical zoom, unlike the 2 times optical zoom on the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it also has a digital zoom up to 50 times. So now let's do a quick camera comparison. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide which camera was used to take the picture. Then I'm going to reveal what camera it is. This should be interesting. As for the front-facing camera on the Note 20 Ultra, it's a 10 megapixel lens. Now let's end this video with a quick speed test. Let's find out which phone is the fastest. Apple's A13 chip versus Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus. Now let's cancel all the apps in the background on both phones. And remember, the Note 20 Ultra already has a point for boot up speed. Now both phones are using the same Wi-Fi, so this comparison should be fair on both sides. So now that everything is clear, let's do some speed tests. Let's start with Instagram. As you can see, the Note 20 Ultra loaded Instagram first, then a couple of seconds later, the iPhone 11 Pro Max catches up. So that's the second point for the Note 20 Ultra. Okay, next, let's try Facebook Messenger. Both phones pretty much loaded the Messenger at the same time, but maybe the Note 20 Ultra is like 0.00001 milliseconds faster. But I'm gonna give 1 point to both phones. Okay, next, let's try YouTube. It seems that the Note 20 Ultra loaded YouTube faster than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. What is happening? I think the king has fallen. And by king, I mean the iPhone 11 Pro Max, because my best bet was on the iPhone 11 Pro Max because I have so much confidence in the A13 Bionic chip, so I don't really know what's happening right now. Now, let's try Google Chrome. Once again, the Note 20 Ultra beats the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Okay, what is happening right now? So this time, let's try to load the website, Samsung.com. It seems like the iPhone 11 Pro Max actually beat the Note 20 Ultra this time. Thank God, finally. I thought the Note 20 Ultra is going to crush the iPhone 11 Pro Max. But I think we're starting to see some improvements, and I hope it lasts long. So this time, let's try another website. Anyways, RIP to the legend that acted Black Panther. It's really sad, like really sad. So let's try Apple.com. Let's find out which one is going to load the website first. This time is pretty much the same thing. Let's just try 1 or 2 apps and we're gonna call it a day. I really appreciate you guys for watching this video. Like, I really do appreciate. Anyways, let's get back to the speed test. Google Mail, the Note 20 Ultra. Amazon, the Note 20 Ultra. Okay, at this point I give up. Okay, let me just try 1 or 2 apps. Is something wrong with my iPhone 11 Pro Max? Okay, let's just try Netflix and that'll be the end of speed test. Come on, iPhone 11 Pro Max. Oh, again, the Note 20 Ultra wins this one again. Okay, I finally give up. The Note 20 Ultra wins the speed test. The Note 20 Ultra wins the design. The camera, pretty much the same thing in my own opinion. Maybe the Note 20 Ultra a little bit better. But now let's talk about the price. The starting price of the Note 20 Ultra is $1299, while the starting price of the iPhone 11 Pro Max is $999. I mean, you might also want to consider that the base storage of the Note 20 Ultra is 128GB, but is 128GB worth the $300 difference? Not really. Like, no. I don't think the Note 20 Ultra is worth $1299 for 95% of people out there. So anyways, that's it. I really appreciate you guys watching this video. If you want to see more of this video, you might want to consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. Turn on that notification bell or smash it if that's what you're into. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.